As they strengthen, they turn more to the right. And so that's why we have a second tornado warning that just went into effect here down to the south. So let's find out the information on that one as well. So this one includes Maurice. This one is just to the northwest of Kaplan.
So a severe thunderstorm warning capable of producing a tornado was located near Kaplan, moving northeast at 20 miles per hour. This includes Interstate 10 in Louisiana near mile marker 88. So if you guys know anyone who lives in these areas, if you know anyone who's going out to the polls right now, that's a very, very dangerous time to be out there. But I mean, people are voting right now. People need to know that what's coming their way. So if you know anyone who's out and about right now, make sure that they are aware of these two storms. One of them in Kaplan, another one where near Indian Bayou, portions of rain just down to the south.
Okay, so apparently there are reports that we're seeing something out towards Dusson. As we zoom out, maybe this is what we're looking at over here in this direction. A little tough to see at the moment. Let's see if we can. Okay, so real quick, there's a couple things that we're watching. Pardon the chaos here. So this is our Crowley Tower camera. Let's zoom back out again because I want to. Let's see. So this is the thunderstorm complex. If something is rain wrapped, those are bands of rain, potentially hail as well. So this is the thunderstorm that we're watching. You can see how quickly it is moving from the right side to the left side of your screen. This is one of those tornado warned thunderstorms that we're watching. Again, we're seeing a lot of chaos with the clouds here that we're looking at, but this is not tornadic in nature. But we are watching what was developing pretty much on the other side of this thunderstorm.
Hold on, Dan. I see something down towards the south. That may be Scud. I'm not entirely sure.
You're talking about this here, or
on the right side of the screen, right there.
Yeah.
Can't exactly tell. It looks sort of like Scud. It's hard to tell. There's just so much gunk underneath this cloud. I can't really tell.
This could be kind of almost like a little mini wall cloud that we're looking at right now. But there are some concerns. Obviously, it's this area that we're watching on the southern edge of this particular thunderstorm. So, yeah, this is the thunderstorm outside of Crowley. Michael, keep a close eye on this camera. At the same time, I'm going to be looking at radar imagery to make sure we're up to snuff with the two tornado warnings that are in effect right now for this. Again, unfortunately, it does include Lafayette Parish as well. So again, two tornado warnings in effect. Let's see. So the first one up to the north and to the east. Here's the latest information. Tornado warning in effect until 10 o'clock in the morning. So if you are in the path of this tornado, please get into your safe place at the moment. This is moving up to the northeast at about 20 miles per hour, and it will impact Interstate 10 between mile markers 88 and 104. So 104 is all the way out here in Lafayette, 88's out by the Crowley area, but this particular area of concern is on the western side of this tornado warning. So this is where we're watching here.
We're also getting reports of debris fallout across Highway 35 right now.
Okay, so Highway 35 is up to the, that's that particular thunderstorm that rolled through. Let's see, everything's saved here in the wrong manner. That's correlation coefficient. Okay, we're not dealing with anything there. Let's check out velocity, because obviously that's a main area of concern that we're watching, and here we go. So these are the two areas of concern that we're watching, one to the northwest of Crowley, and another one to the east. Excuse me, I'm sorry, I'm all over the place right now. One area of concern to the northwest of Kaplan, another one to the east of Crowley. So we have one concern. Is this, we have this white. This is confirmed tornado on the ground, I believe, if I'm not mistaken with that.
Yeah, tornado observed. Confirmed. Sorry for that, folks.
We're going to hear. So
the confirmed tornado was located near Rain, moving northeast to 20 miles per hour. It's a broadcast media confirmed tornado, extended till 10:30.
Okay. So
This tornado will be near Lafayette, Scott, Rain, Dusant, Ridge, and Meyer around 10 a.m. So if you, actually, that's right around, that's heading towards like where my apartment is too. So we all know that area very well. That's towards Johnston. But if it takes that southerly track, especially going towards Johnston and crossing over I-10 in the next 20 minutes or so, we could be seeing some very, if it does hold together, we could be seeing something entering that area of Crowley and Rain in the next few minutes. We're also looking at the Crowley Tower camera. Can't see much. There's so much heavy downpours with this. It's difficult to really see what's going on.
Let's look at our News 15 camera network. How about we rotate the Lafayette camera around as well? Let's see, Church Point, not really seeing anything. Lafayette, no, but we're still keeping a close eye on what's going on in the Crowley Tower camera. So we're going to whip this around. This is going to give us a little bit of a better vantage point. A little tough to see anything at the moment. Unfortunately, our antenna is right in the view of this particular tornado. Okay, all right, so let's go back to velocity because, again, this is kind of the area of concern that we have. Resets back to what we're looking at. So okay, let's, all right, so in the meantime, let's see what else we're looking at here. So this is, we have a confirmed tornado on the ground, and this is the area of concern. This is now moving across, it moved across Louisiana Highway 35, lifting up to the northeast. It's now headed to a more popular area. So this is Highway 90, Interstate 10. So again, this is going to continue to lift up to the north and northeast, and it is doing so at about 20 miles per hour. So again, as we let's broaden out here what we have located. So again, if you are in the path of this tornado, please, I cannot emphasize this enough, get into your safe place. Let's see, it's moving up to the northeast at about 20. Okay,
and just a reminder, we have two areas of rotation that we are looking at. One down towards the south of Rain, heading towards Dusant, eventually heading towards Cankton, Scott, portions of Carencro, eventually. Have we, you just timed it out?
Yes. Okay, so this is moving to the northeast at about 20 miles per hour, Desutel.
Real quick, that south cell has, the tornado warning has been dropped. It's now a special weather statement, but we are still looking at a very concentrated rotation with that.
Okay, so again, it's about to cross Highway 90 and Interstate 10 here within the next few minutes, because keep in mind, it's going to move towards Desutel at about 25 minutes. Desutel's all the way up here. We're talking about impacting this area here within the next 5 to 10 minutes. So I would say it's 10 o'clock now, 10:05. Again, this is not a lot of time to prepare. We have a confirmed tornado on the ground. Again, this is kind of on the border of Acadia and Lafayette parishes, moving out towards Interstate 10 at the moment, to the northeast at about 20 miles per hour. Let's see, can we pull up anything on our camera network? Do we have anything?
No, this one's not working. I tried to click on it.
Okay.
And Scott doesn't show us much. It says that the camera's unavailable for some reason, but I'm trying to get our Crowley Tower camera to see if we can point in the right direction.
Okay, so this is a renegade thunderstorm. Oh, there's a new tornado warning that just went into effect as well. So now we have two tornado warnings in effect across Acadiana. One, a confirmed tornado. This is the one that we're watching, obviously, that is garnering the bulk of the attention right now. Tornado warning, an observed tornado on the ground to the west of Lafayette.
We only have one tornado warning, Dan. The one towards the south is a special weather statement.
Nope, we have one up to the north right here, and this is for Evangeline Parish. This is until 10:30.
Oh, that one. I didn't even see that one. Okay, my apologies. Oh, wow, that one's brand new. Looks like there's actually two areas inside of that that are...
So we have two tornado warnings in effect right now. Again, this is the newest one, Evangeline Parish. This thunderstorm moving up to the north and northeast at about 25 miles per hour. This one is responsible for your phones being alerted, creating all the concerns here in the hub city. Right now, it does look like it's going to stay west of downtown Lafayette, but it is going to lift and skirt the western edge of Lafayette Parish eastern Acadia Parish, and then again move up into St. Landry Parish. And so again, this is why that tornado warning is in effect until 10:30. There has been an observed tornado on the ground right now with that particular thunderstorm.
That tornado warning just got canceled just now. Just down towards the south, but we only have one up to the north now.
Okay, so the one for Lafayette Parish has...
It's been lifted, yeah. It's gone from our system, yeah.
I don't know if that's necessarily true. It still has a observed tornado on the ground right now. Let's see. Circulation has broadened. There isn't any indication that's still on the ground right now, but we're still continuing the tornado warning. So again, this will continue until 10:30 for Acadia, Lafayette, and St. Landry parishes. Again, this is moving up to the northeast at about 20 to 25 miles per hour. Let's take a look at velocity. Still continues to show that we are dealing with a tornado warning. And it is taking a jog a little bit to the left. So again, this is going to impact areas just on the eastern side of rain. You can see how we are dealing with a bit of rotation associated with this particular thunderstorm as it continues to lift up. Arsinoe, you are going to be under the gun here within the next 5 to 10 minutes. Please, I cannot emphasize this enough. Get into your safe place immediately. Excuse me, if you have, and by that I mean go into the interior part of the building away from as many windows as possible. Again, we have a confirmed tornado on the ground. At the moment, it is showing signs of weakening, but still, nonetheless, heed caution. This is a very dangerous setup that we're dealing with. We already had one confirmed tornado on the ground in Basile, and we had another confirmed tornado due to this thunderstorm here within the last few minutes. Yes, it is showing signs of weakening, which is good news, but we've seen some of these thunderstorms pulse and repeat the process where they've dropped a tornado and then weakened and then potentially dropping a second, maybe even a third tornado. So again, you can see how it is crossing over Interstate 10 at the moment. The area of concern is actually just to the south, right along Highway 90. So this thunderstorm sliding along almost parallel to Highway 35, but it did cross over 35. So it is moving to the north and northeast at about 20 miles per hour. A very dangerous thunderstorm, and unfortunately we could be dealing with another couplet trying to get its act back together as we speak. So this is going to continue to lift up to the north and to the east. I'll provide what it looks like right now, and we'll zoom in. So this is Highway 90, out in between Dussault and Rain. So here is the area of concern. Again, kind of an industrial area. There are a lot of sugarcane fields and so forth, but, Interstate 10, obviously a lot of traffic here. Highway 90, a lot more residential traffic. It is a very busy route. And unfortunately, we could be looking at a tornado crossing over Highway 90, now heading towards Interstate 10. That is going to create a lot of concerns across that area here with the possibility of traffic being disrupted by this potentially strong thunderstorm and tornadic thunderstorm at that. So again, we're continuing to monitor what is going on with this particular thunderstorm. And then we also have another tornado warning in effect up to the north and to the west. This is in far western portions of Evangeline Parish. There are two areas of concern with this particular thunderstorm. One down to the south, and then another one up to the northeast along Highway 13 between Pine Prairie and Turkey Creek. And this is looking fairly impressive as well. But we're also dealing with the possibility of rotation here along Highway 10. So this is a couple areas of concern that we're watching in Evangeline Parish. So we have two thunderstorms producing the possibility of 3 areas of rotation. And now we're looking at, let's see, so here's the one that we're watching. This is an updated tornado warning in effect, and your phones might be going off right now. This is what we're seeing here, tornado warning. until 10:30. This has been amended for this particular thunderstorm in Lafayette Parish and Acadia Parish. So what we're looking at, frankly, isn't really all that impressive from our velocity standpoint, but it would be in this area right here. So this is just to the west of Dussault. It's being covered up by Louisiana Highway 719. So again, it is crossing over Interstate 10 as we speak right now. We're also keeping a close eye on what is unfolding down here due south of rain. This is along Louisiana Highway 35. This continues to lift up to the north and northeast at about 20 to 25 miles per hour. Acadia, Lafayette, St. Landry parishes, all under the gun. Again, we are no longer dealing with an observed tornado. We are now dealing with a thunderstorm that has the potential to create a tornado, potentially radar-indicated circulation of a tornado right now across portions of Acadia and Lafayette Parish. But again, this is not the only area of concern that we have at the moment. We have to lift up to the north and to the west, 2 areas of concern with one particular tornado warning. So this one, which looks a little bit more broad, is heading across Louisiana Highway 10, and then we also have this one that looks a little bit more organized. This is to the southwest of Turkey Creek. And again, this is about to cross over Louisiana Highway 13. And Louisiana Highway 13, a little bit more of a busier route that connects Turkey Creek down to the south. So again, you keep on going down Louisiana Highway 13, that takes you all the way down towards Abbeville. So again, we are looking at the possibility of rotation with this particular thunderstorm. This is also a radar-indicated tornado warning. So we don't have anything on the ground at the moment. At least we don't have anything confirmed on the ground. But that doesn't mean that some of these thunderstorms won't produce any more tornadic weather. We've already seen that occur quite a bit this morning, and we're going to continue to maintain that threat for at least the next couple of hours or so. Let's see what we're looking at. Again, not really all that organized. We're still maintaining that tornado warning that does include Lafayette Parish, far eastern areas of Acadia Parish, and then extreme southern areas of St. Landry Parish. So again, this tornado warning in effect until 10:30. Please, if you are in the path of this thunderstorm, I cannot emphasize this enough. Get into your safe place. I've done many school talks, and one thing I tell the kids, hey, if you cannot get into an area that is safe, at least do yourself a favor, put on a bicycle helmet, put on a football helmet. All the kids have some sort of athletic gear. Put something on their head to keep them safe when we're dealing with this tornadic weather. You know, again, if you can't find a way into a safe place, at least get yourself protected as much as possible. So, this particular thunderstorm really not showing signs that it's all that impressive at the moment. And frankly, that's some fantastic news. Folks are going to be out and about this morning. They're heading to the polls. A lot of folks are off today. That's good because it's election day. But also, this chaos throws a little bit of a monkey wrench into things. So again, the area of concern just to the northwest of Dussault, that we are dealing with this tornado warning in effect for another 19 minutes. It is moving to the north. Okay, so getting word if we can. Are you looking at this?
Yeah, I'm trying to look for something.
Okay. Yeah, so it looks like, if anything, it would be down to the south of Church Point. So we are looking.
Apparently, it's close to our tower location at Church Point, but I can't.
Are we getting that? Where are we getting that information? Okay. So our chief engineer is telling us that apparently there is some sort of circulation in the vicinity to the south of Church Point. So let's see if I can zoom in here, because that's not necessarily an area of concern. It would be in this area right here. There is some sort of
that's the only thing I can really see, like lowering of the clouds. There's a little bit of something elsewhere, but I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, so again, this is kind of what we're looking at in terms of the area of concern. It would be right in here.
Also, the National Weather Service will be going to Evangeline Parish this afternoon to survey the damage that was possible in Basile.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what we expected from them, just because of the fact that we already had a tornado on the ground in Basile. Okay. All right, so again, there are two areas of concern that we're watching. One across Lafayette Parish, Acadia Parish, St. Landry Parish. That is weakening, but we have two areas of concern up to the north. This one is, unfortunately, is moving towards Turkey Creek area. So again, what we're looking at is the rotation associated with this particular thunderstorm. So again, anytime we see a couplet, granted this one is a little bit more faded. It's not as distinct as we normally would see. But again, we are dealing with, this is, we're using the radar site out of Fort Johnson. It used to be Fort Polk. So the green is raindrops, wind-driven particles heading towards the radar site up to the north and to the west. And then the red is ones that are driving down to the south and to the east. So unfortunately, it looks like we could be dealing with some concerns in the area of Turkey Creek. So
We also just got a severe thunderstorm warning with a tornado possible heading into Turkey Creek from Oakdale. So that is in Allen Parish. So that's well over towards the west of this current cell. We're actually looking at 3 cells in this vicinity. If we could zoom out a little bit once you're done with this particular graphic.
okay, so this is what we're looking at right now. We have 2 tornado warnings in effect. We have and a severe thunderstorm warning up to the effect out on far northwestern portions of Evangeline Parish. The observed tornado warning is no longer in effect. So, okay, first and foremost, we have this tornado warning that does include the hub city, and it does include areas out to the west. If you're in the hub city, I'm not necessarily concerned, but this is more or less for our folks farther out to the west towards Maurice, as well as towards, I'm sorry, not Maurice, my apologies, towards Dusan, and then out towards, what else do we have? Rain. Okay, so a little bit of lightning associated with that storm. Not good news. So we'll save that right there. And this tornado warning in effect until 10:30. This is a radar indicated tornado. So this is moving to the north and to the northeast at, or north and northeast at about 25 miles per hour. Now, let's take a look at what we're dealing with this other thunderstorm that is creating some tornado warnings. A very proficient hook echo associated with this particular thunderstorm. Again, we have one area of concern right over Turkey Creek. That's this thunderstorm here, but look at this hook echo that's trying to develop. This is just to the west of Pine Prairie. This is also lifting up to the north and northeast, I believe at a little bit more of a quicker pace, perhaps like 25 miles per hour. So what is the updated information on that particular tornado warning? Let's see.
Where is it? I think it's...
Let's see. Right now, this tornado warning at 10:06, capable of producing a tornado was, nope, that's the wrong one. Okay, so here we go. Tornado warning for Evangeline Parish. Severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located over Bond, 8 miles southeast of Oakdale, moving to the northeast at 20 miles per hour. So, again, this tornado warning in effect until 10:30, another 14 minutes.
Hey, Dan, pull up the Church Point Tower camera real quick. We looking at that cell down to the south. I know it expired, but we have a classic wall cloud starting to come down from that. If we could, it'll be on the bottom right of your screen when it pops up. See right down in
Yeah, there we go. So what we're looking at.
Oh, we actually looks like we have a funnel starting to dip down from that too. Just for a second there. We're going to have to keep a really close eye on that because it looks like it's trying to spin up something down to the surface.
So this is what we're looking at here, just to the right side. This is the rain shaft. This is not tornadic. This is the rain shaft. And then we're looking at the possibility of this area of concern. So there is some lowering of the clouds here, and obviously that is why we are looking at the possibility of something tornadic developing in the vicinity of the Church Point area. I mean, all across Acadiana, the sky's just looking fairly ominous. This is our Hub City Tower Cam looking out to the west, partially obstructed by our tower cam. And then we're also looking at heavier rain moving into the Church Point area as we speak right now. So again, let's take a look at radar imagery, see what we're looking at in terms of those particular thunderstorms. So if we saw anything in the vicinity of Church Point, it would definitely be up to the, okay, so this is what we're looking at in terms of the Church Point storm. This is another storm altogether. So that I'm not necessarily concerned about. The area of concern in terms of tornadic weather, let's go back to properties. Nope, that's the wrong one. Okay. So again, not seeing any defined areas of circulation with this system, at least not that I'm concerned about. If we were looking at an area, again, it's following along the same path of what was developing earlier. It would have gone north of Interstate 10 at this point, kind of in the vicinity of Arsenault, but it has fallen apart pretty dramatically. So I'm not really too concerned about that, excuse me, at the moment. Trying to get something developed, it looks like to the north of Dusant, maybe a little bit of minor rotation. And then we're also dealing with, let's see, there was another area down to the south. So this is, we just call this a bit of clutter, keeping a close eye on that. Maybe something down towards Ridge we're watching as well. So there is a lot of clutter, as we'd like to say, going on in terms of those particular thunderstorms. And fortunately, we're also, even though we are dealing with a good amount of rotation associated with these two thunderstorms in particular, out in Evangeline Parish, excuse me for a second. A little parched here, had to grab some water. We are dealing with possible rotation in the vicinity of Turkey Creek. This is moving up to the north and to the east at about 20 to 25 miles per hour. And another broad area of circulation, this is down to the south east of Cypress Creek. This too is lifting up to the north and to the northeast at about 25 miles per hour. So a fairly similar path to the thunderstorm up to the north in Turkey Creek, excuse me. And again, one kind of trailing the other, but right now we're just dealing with one tornado warning associated with these two thunderstorms in Evangeline Parish. It's going to continue to lift up to the north and to the east at about 20 to 25 miles per hour. So let's broaden out. Let's take a look at what we're dealing with right now. We're still dealing with that tornado warning that does include Lafayette Parish, far southern areas of St. Landry Parish, as well as far eastern areas of Acadia Parish. Now, if we time this out, let's put radar imagery on right now, and we just take a look at this thunderstorm. Let's see. We'll just kind of crawl this out, lift it up at about 25 miles per hour. This is going to time everything out. So again, this thunderstorm in particular, we are looking at the possibility of tornadic weather associated with this thunderstorm. If you're in Scott, it'll be impacting you within 8 minutes at 10:29. Carencro at 10:42. Sunset, 10:44. Arnaudville at 11:05. Chasson at 11:10. This is moving up to the north and to the northeast at about 20 to 25 miles per hour. So again, kind of skirting the western edge of the more populated areas of our region.
So Dan, they just announced that the cells in the north portions of Evangeline Parish are going to be allowed to expire at 10:30 until further need arises. It does look like they're broadening out a little bit, especially up towards the north, but still, I mean, these are very strong storms. As you said before, even if these storms couldn't even be tornadic, and they would still pack a serious punch. Some pretty good lightning coming out of them as well as some pretty gusty winds.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, and furthermore, we're starting to see a little bit more lightning develop. Let's see, can we get our tower cameras to...
Our Church Point one just went kaput.
Okay, so there's another thunderstorm over the Church Point area that is not associated with any tornadic weather. But again, a little difficult to see. Unfortunately, our tower camera is being obstructed right now by, you guessed it, our tower. So again, we're looking out into the area, kind of scouring around, not seeing anything. This is looking up to the northwest. There is a little bit of a rain shaft here in the distance. And again, this is kind of the thunderstorm that we're watching that would be crossing over Interstate 10. So we're looking out to the north and to the west. Here's a dividing line, very distinct rain shaft that we are seeing. Areas to the left of that, that's where the rain is falling. And you can actually see that more visibly here with the horizon being a bit hazy because of that. Areas out to the east of that, on the right side of your screen, not as much of a distinct line of rain.
So the warning in Lafayette will be allowed to drop at 10:30 as well. So we have about 7 more minutes. Unless this system ends up re-strengthening, they're going to drop this warning. Pretty strong storm heading into Acadiana, and it looks like our camera has gone into night mode, unfortunately.
Okay.
And I also want to point out that the system in Turkey Creek, just to the north of Turkey Creek, looks like it's restructured a little bit more. If we want to check that out whenever we can reset our cameras after we're done with that. It looks like it's re-tightened a little bit. The one near Pine Prairie is just to the northeast or northwest of Pine Prairie. Looks like it's, for the most part, broadened out, but there is still a couple of locations in Evangeline Parish we're still monitoring. I'm looking at that one just to the east, just to the west of Pine Prairie and Turkey Creek, Dan.
Okay. 2 areas of concern. And again, so this is up in Evangeline Parish. You know, we're seeing, it looks like another area of rotation developing. And this one might try to merge with those two. That would actually kind of hinder the development of both of those areas of circulation, would not create a super tornado, but it would perhaps kind of weaken it. But we're also looking at that, and then we're dealing with this area of rotation that's looking, unfortunately, a little bit more pronounced up to the northwest of Pine Prairie. You can see how these are moving to the northeast at about 25 miles per hour. If you are in the path of these particular thunderstorms, again, this is what we're looking at in terms of the most dangerous aspect of the weather that we're seeing today. Please get into your safe place. And by that, I mean get into your interior walls. Stay away from the windows. A lot of these thunderstorms are producing rain-wrapped tornadoes. So whether it hits the ground, whether it doesn't hit the ground, we actually don't know that answer because the rain obstructs our view of actually seeing that happen. So don't be a hero. Don't try to go out and chase this storm. If you are in the path of this particular thunderstorm, please head to your safe place. Stay away from the windows. Move into a building that has the least amount of exterior walls as possible. If you have kids with you, again, give them some sort of athletic gear, whether it's a baseball helmet, softball helmet, lacrosse, hockey, maybe not exactly the biggest sport here in South Louisiana. I digress. A bicycle helmet, anything along those lines, because again, what we've seen with this tornadic weather is it's been pretty quick to spawn up. Obviously, have caught some people off guard and have led to some injuries in Basile. And again, we are far from out of the woods. So we are seeing a weakening with this particular rotation, but looks like a little bit more, perhaps maybe a downburst that's trying to develop out to the east of that. And then we also have this area of concern, and it is ready to cross over. I believe that's Louisiana Highway 13. This is out to the north of Pine Prairie, up towards Turkey Creek. So again, we are dealing with, sorry about that, folks, a little bit of a bug on my wall. So again, this is going to continue to lift up to the north and to the east at about 25 miles per hour. So we're watching that. Areas down to the south still have that tornado warning in effect for Lafayette Parish. But again, it looks incredibly sloppy. If we were looking at an area of concern, we're starting to see perhaps maybe a little bit more of some definitive rotation, but by no means is this impressive. So this is along, I want to say, I don't believe this is Louisiana 182, but it extends from Arsenault out towards Carencro and north of Carencro, I'm sorry, south of Carencro, Yeah, so it's not Glorious Switch Road, but it's in that area right there. So maybe it is Louisiana Highway 182. So this is kind of the area of concern that we're watching. It's just on the far eastern edge of Acadia Parish, and it is now moving into St. Landry Parish. So this tornado warning will continue here for the next couple of minutes. We're almost out of the woods at the moment right now with these particular warnings. We've been told by the National Weather Service that they are going to allow these warnings to expire at 10:30. We still have some active weather, a new severe thunderstorm warning in effect for this particular thunderstorm up to the southwest of Turkey Creek. Again, so the area of concern with this potential rotation is headed towards the Turkey Creek area. This is a tornado warning that will be allowed to expire here within the next couple of minutes, but they have launched and reissued severe thunderstorm warnings in effect right now. So let's see if we can have the latest information on that. So that severe thunderstorm warning, unfortunately, will have the possibility of creating a tornado. That is in effect until 11:30. So as far as the actual tornado warning itself goes, that is for, let's try to clear this up a bit. So
the severe thunderstorm warning is moving northeast at 25 miles per hour, producing 60 mile per hour wind gusts. It includes Bunkie, Cheneville, Turkey Creek, Hesmer, Poland, and Echo. All those places in Evangeline and I believe Avoyelles and Rapides Parish.
okay, so let's go over the details again. So the severe thunderstorm warning, that includes Avoyelles, Evangeline, Rapides Parish. Radar indicated winds gusting upwards at 60 miles per hour, a tornado possible. That is this outline right here. So that's associated with this particular area of rotation and the severe thunderstorm warning that slides up to the north and to the east. This tornado warning will actually expire here within the minute. So that's this area, the red polygon, the tornado warning in effect until 10:30. So this was actually associated with this particular area of concern that is now moving out of Evangeline Parish and up into Rapides Parish. So this is moving, again, a lot of these thunderstorms today, they're moving a lot slower than the ones that were moving last night. Last night we were dealing with thunderstorms that were moving at anywhere between 40 to 50 miles per hour. Today, right now, those thunderstorms are moving at about 25 miles per hour. So again,
the last of our tornado warnings have been canceled.
Okay, so that's some good news. We do not have any more tornadic weather to contend with across Acadiana. Well, I should say confirmed tornadic weather. We are still looking at some thunderstorms capable of producing tornadic weather. But again, we do not have any tornado warnings in effect across Acadiana. 2 severe thunderstorm warnings in effect across northern portions of Evangeline Parish. Areas down to the south, not really seeing anything at the moment that is too concerning. I'm going to switch over to radar imagery. And frankly, we're also not seeing that much lightning. So that is some good news. We're seeing a little bit of some thunderstorm activity to the east of Opelousas. That's a ground to cloud lightning strike. A few more strikes out to the west, out towards Allen Parish. They are lifting up to the north and to the northeast. But again, even these thunderstorms that are creating the severe thunderstorm warnings capable of producing a tornado, from radar imagery, don't really look all that impressive. So again, they are going to continue to lift up to the north and northeast at about 25 miles per hour. Once this particular thunderstorm moves out of the region, I think we're going to take a little bit of a break from programming here. But otherwise, we are dealing with conditions that continue to improve after a raucous start to our election day. Again, to recap, we had a tornado touchdown in Basile, hit Ray's grocery store, and unfortunately, we're getting reports that 2 people were injured as a result of that tornadic thunderstorm. One of those other severe thunderstorm warnings has been canceled, so that's some good news. Wasn't even allowed to expire, was canceled. Let's see what we have left here. Again, this is severe thunderstorm warning in effect until 11:30. The specific details with this particular thunderstorm. Let's see. Severe thunderstorm was located near Beaver, or 8 miles to the southeast of Oakdale, moving to the northeast at 25 miles per hour. Has the potential to kick up 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, and expect damage to roofs, siding, and trees. Locations that could be impacted by this storm include Bunkie, Shaneyville, Turkey Creek, Hesmer, Poland, and Echo. So again, this is it's possible that this particular thunderstorm could create a tornado, but right now, again, we are dealing with a little bit of a weakening trend with some of these thunderstorms across Acadiana, including this one. So this was a previously tornado-warned thunderstorm, now a severe thunderstorm warning, capable of producing a tornado. So that is a notch down, which is good news for a lot of us across the area. Let's see what else we're looking at right now. Let's see if we can take a look at our velocity, which indicates the possibility of rotation. So again, here's the area that we're looking at, Turkey Creek. This is where I'm concerned most. This is going to continue to lift up. So yeah, again, this is very similar to the last thunderstorm that rolled through here about 15, 20 minutes ago. It's almost taking the same exact path, lifting up to the northeast at about 25 miles per hour, almost across the same exact route, and across Turkey Creek once again.
Now, this severe thunderstorm warning has the capabilities of producing a severe thunderstorm or of a tornado in the next few minutes ahead of us, but it is that level below it. So we don't have any tornado warnings issued at the moment, and as this continues into Rapides and Avoyelles Parish, hopefully we can see this exit Acadiana pretty soon. And timing it out for you guys, moving about 25 miles per hour to the northeast. First up, we have Turkey Creek. Obviously, you guys are to be seeing it very, very soon if you're already not seeing some pretty heavy downpours. Meridian, Shaneyville, Egg Bend, I'm not too sure how to pronounce Belleau, I think. Belleau. But you guys are going to be up next. If you don't, honestly, I would expect this to be able to produce a tornado at any second. So treat this like a tornado warning and get to your safe place if you are in these areas.
Yeah, again, this is moving to the northeast at about 25 miles per hour. So this is taking the same exact path as the previous thunderstorm that created the concerns just a few, roughly within the last 10, 15 minutes or so. So again, as we zoom in, we'll take a look at, some of this was the first area of concern to the south of Shaneyville, and then we have this particular area of concern down around the Turkey Creek area. So where the junction of 167 and Louisiana Highway 13 come together. And again, nice bit of rotation. It is rather jagged, but nonetheless, it is something where, could create some dangerous scenarios as it lifts up to the north end to the east, moving over Turkey Creek. They already got mollywopped by one thunderstorm. It looks like a second one is creating some concerns along those areas as well. So again, not an ideal scenario for our folks in this, in that part of Evangeline Parish.
Naming a couple areas around that area, if you live on Red Roberts Road, Cemetery Road, near the Dollar General, next to Highway 13, next to 167, there's a Postal Service, Dollar General, if you know anyone in that area. Or if you live along these roads that's heading directly towards you guys, that's DeVille Road as well, East DeVille Road, next to Leger's Grocery. Glenmore, Turkey Creek Highway, heading across that after it pushes through Red Roberts Road. Looks like we're looking hyper locally here, of course, but we're looking at a pretty strong storm heading in. It's not tornado warned, like we've been saying, but it has the capability of producing a tornado at any second. And with how fast these thunderstorms can drop these storms, I see no reason why it couldn't quickly drop one and then quickly go back up into the sky and do like a sort of surprise attack sort of situation thing.
Yeah, so we're also noticing a little bit of rain here fall outside our studio in Lafayette. But again, these are the thunderstorms that we're watching up to the north and to the west. That's where the threat for tornadic weather, at least on the very low end of the spectrum, exists. With this particular thunderstorm now moving across Highway 167, near Louisiana Highway 13. And then we also have a larger swath of heavy rainfall. This too is lifting up to the northeast. We could be dealing with some quick ponding on some of the area roadways and so forth, but we're going to hang around until this thunderstorm in particular moves out of Evangeline Parish. Once it does so, we'll provide a little bit of a break. We are dealing with some thunderstorms that are strengthening in some locations. Quite a bit of lightning developing out to the northwest of Lafayette, out towards the north of Dussault, south of Church Point, in the vicinity of Sunset. Also another thunderstorm cluster of storms out by Opelousas, and then another one out by Jennings, producing a good amount of lightning. Again, unfortunately, there's still going to be the threat of rotating thunderstorms as we work our way into the afternoon. But at the moment, in terms of, the threat for, rotation, you can see how we're seeing that currently right over Turkey Creek. So again, we're not dealing with any specific tornado warnings. We don't have any tornadoes confirmed on the ground at the moment. But what we are seeing here is concerning. This is over Turkey Creek. So this is lifting up to the north and to the east at 25 miles per hour. If you have any friends or family in Turkey Creek, get on the horn with them. Make sure they're okay, because this is a gnarly looking storm. Again, I can't emphasize enough, frankly. Please get into your safe place. We aren't dealing with any tornadic weather officially at the moment, but it is very possible that we could see a tornado develop from the rotation that we're seeing with this particular thunderstorm as it continues to lift up to the northeast at 25 miles per hour. So please, get away from exterior walls, stay away from the windows. Again, if you're, kind of hunker down maybe towards the side of your bed, underneath your bed, just wait for this particular thunderstorm to pass on by. This is a nasty storm as it continues to slowly lift up to the north and to the east, away from Turkey Creek. Doesn't have that much farther to go, only about 5 minutes, and then it will no longer be a concern, maybe about 10 minutes, no longer a concern for our friends here in Evangeline Parish. But again, it is moving kind of along the same exact path of the previous thunderstorm that rolled over those areas about 15, 20 minutes ago. So again, here's the latest information on this particular severe thunderstorm warning that is capable of producing a tornado. Severe thunderstorm warning in effect until 11:30, so that's about another 51 minutes. Again, this thunderstorm was located near Beaver, or 8 miles to the south of Oakdale, moving to the northeast at 25 miles per hour. And right now we are seeing some good signs. The latest scan here indicates that rotation has kind of weakened to some extent. So that continues to show some good news. It isn't as prominent as it was before. Let's see. So again, as we take a look at some of the radar data, the wind speeds probably aren't all that impressive. See if I can get this to pop up. Nope, I'm not doing that right now. Okay, all right. So nonetheless, so right now we're getting gates of about 25 to 30 miles per hour. So not, again, all that impressive. Yeah, so that's some good news. It's kind of a messy area of circulation, what we're dealing with right now. But, kind of looking at things from the grand scheme, we're seeing some areas of not really rotation, so that's some good news.
Also, some more good news, reports from Toops Road. We actually, there was one house on a road, and it just barely looked like it missed. It went through the field instead of actually hitting the house, so very close call. I think that's near, I can't tell exactly where that is, but good news though. I mean, if we're getting lucky, we're getting lucky. That's just the end. That's the end of the story here. But unfortunately, as we heard before, we had 2 injuries reported in, where was that? That was in Basile. And that was at Dave's Grocery, if I'm correct. Ray's Grocery.
Grocery.
So we've already had some incidents of some of these tornadoes actually causing damage. So today, I mean, we still have a good majority of the day to go. We are still tracking these thunderstorms. Not severe at this time, or not tornadic. We still have one more storm that we're tracking in Turkey Creek right now. and it's expected to eventually make its way out of Evangeline Parish. In fact, I don't think there's any civilization between here and Shinnyville or Beldo or, what does that say, Egg Bend. Until then, I mean, we were probably going to be able to see this exit Evangeline Parish pretty soon.
Yeah, right now we're just looking at this storm kind of lifting up to the north and to the east at about 25 miles per hour. So it's going to be in Cheneyville, which is in this area here, at 11:08. So that is 26 minutes from now. Roughly cut that in half. We're looking at kind of this moving, this particular thunderstorm moving out of Evangeline Parish in roughly 13 to 15 minutes. And I don't even know if we're going to kind of maintain it. It looks like it's still weakening as we, as we continue. Still a little bit of a couplet, a little concerning at the moment. Let me zoom out, see if I can see any other areas of concern. So this is jagged. This is just due to the next line of storms moving through the area. And frankly, as I kind of scan over areas, I don't really see anything too concerning. So that's some good news. We still have that one severe thunderstorm warning in effect. Let's take a look at Doppler radar imagery. We can get rid of, again, just a cluster of thunderstorms that we're seeing for the most part. Many of them strong, only one severe thunderstorm warning in effect at the moment. Again, let's put this into motion. Clean this up a bit. Sorry about that, folks. And then we'll try to get the green light here to take a little bit of a break. Let's see. This is over the last 3 hours. So again, we are dealing with some stronger storms kind of rolling through the region right now. We're going to continue to watch these thunderstorms as they more or less lift up to the north and to the east at about 25 miles per hour. The more and more I look at this thunderstorm, the less and less I am concerned about it. So let me give one more final look, and then we can make a decision. I know it's getting pretty late in the morning for some folks. Look, if you're heading to the polls this morning, we are still going to be dealing with some fairly active weather across the KADN. Conditions are going to improve to some extent, but in general, there's a little bit of a, I wouldn't necessarily say hookah-go, but again, we are looking at the possibility of some rotational, no, we don't need that. It's still a little bit, but again, conditions are improving as we work our way into the next little bit of time here. So again, many folks are going to be heading to the polls here in the next few hours or so. We continue to track thunderstorms across the KADN. We're going to be here all the way through the rest of the day, whether it's myself or meteorologist Michael Crowley. Right now, one thunderstorm that we're watching, this one moving away from Turkey Creek, continues to lift up to the north and to the east. We do not have any tornado warnings in effect across the KADN, just this severe thunderstorm warning that continues to lift up to the north and to the east at about 25 miles per hour. So at this moment, we are going to return you to regularly scheduled programming. If we do have any other information that comes in regarding a tornado threat, newly formed tornado threat, and so forth, we will provide that information, and we will cut in once again. Until then, folks, if you're heading out to the polls for Election Day, heed caution, be safe. It is going to be a bit of an active afternoon, but between myself and meteorologist Michael Crowley, we'll make sure that you are safe as can be. All right, folks, we'll be back.